Hello everybody, welcome back to Game Room Crafts. My name is Kelly, this is my game room. Let's play. Today we're going to be casting some new molds. I have these bumblebees here that, if you remember, I made my honey pot the other day and we decided that we wanted to put a little bee on the top of our honey pot to give it a little bit of extra decoration. So this set came together. You get the bee, which has 7 bees. You get this 4 sunflowers come with it, and then these 2, they look like honeycombs, but there's a little keychain dangle on it. So I guess you could make it a keychain. I suppose you could do a pendant or really big earrings if that's what you're into. So we're gonna make these up today, and today we're gonna be using Reservoir black mica powder and some of our extra fine gold glitter that I picked that up at Michael's. And we're using the Bond Crafter epoxy resin 1:1. So I'm going to measure out my resin and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm just mixing up my epoxy. It is Bond Crafter 1:1 pure epoxy resin. Just making sure I scrape the bottoms and the sides of my cup while I'm mixing. I do not lift my paddle all the way out, because if you do, you actually will be introducing bubbles. So there's a little interesting tidbit for you. Keep that paddle in. You can absolutely, maneuver it up and down, but don't lift it all the way out and put it all the way back in, because you're actually creating more bubbles. Okay, and there's my timer. That was 4 minutes. So I'm going to clean off my paddle as best I can. And then we are going to split this. I think we're going to try 20 and 20. Give it a shot at 20 each, roughly. Yeah, we're going to try something new for us. I've seen other people do it. Hopefully it works for us. And we're going to put some glue in to see if we can keep our colors from mixing together. We want them to remain separate, especially on my bumblebee and my sunflowers over there. So first we're going to add Reservoir black mica. And yes, I take the time to close it because I will spill it. I am, as I always say, the world's clumsiest person. Maybe not, but definitely my family's clumsiest person. Before my husband met me, he said he had never seen anybody fall upstairs. He'd seen people fall downstairs, but not up. I was his first. And then we had a roommate. I guess like people do attract like people. She also fell upstairs, and now my child can fall upstairs. I tell the kid, don't worry, you come by your clumsiness naturally. Okay, so that's mixed up. We're going to leave it, let it sit. We'll use the golden yellow. I was going to use my magic yellow because for some reason I don't have just yellow mica powder. Isn't that weird? So again, Reservoir, you see this a lot until I use it all up. So I won't buy something new until I use this all up. Okay, that goes in there. And remember, when you're mixing, give it a good stir. Get all that powder mixed in. Make sure you scrape your sides and your bottom, because you want the powder mixed in, but you also want to make sure you don't have any unmixed resin in there. No lumps, no bumps, no clumps, because that will show. I like the golden yellow. However, I'm thinking that when I do my honeycombs, I might add a little bit of brown. I can still see through that. I don't like that. It needs to be opaque, completely opaque. So I should not be able to see my stick, which is another reason I use the purple stick, because if I can still see my purple through my stick, I know that that's not as opaque as I want it to be. So as I was saying, when I do the honeycomb keychains, I may add a little bit of brown to it just to give it that more. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Okay. So here's the thing that we're going to do that we have never done before. I've seen other people do it. Hopefully it works for us. We are going to add glue the same way we add glue when we don't want our glitter to migrate. We're going to add glue here. First of all, we are going to be using some gold extra fine glitter in both of these. But also, I don't want my black and my yellow to mix together, especially in my bumblebees. Also, to a certain extent, in my sunflowers, but definitely in my bumblebees. Okay, we're going to open that. And just a drop, because this is way less than an ounce, so you don't need a lot of glue there at all. Okay, so mix it into our black, and you see it working because it starts to get gloopy. That consistency of slime. If you have kids, you know what slime is. You've probably made slime. But yeah, that gloop factor, definitely. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing with the yellow. Make sure you get that all mixed in. Use all your muscles. Okay, now, because I can't not do it, I have to do it. A little bit of gold, extra fine glitter there. Same there. And we're mixing again. Now, I got that extra fine glitter at Michael's. It came in a nice big size bag. Ziploc, but I don't like having to deal with the zips when I'm doing this. And the thing is, glitter, same with mica powder, it will get stuck in that zip track. So you're, number one, wasting, but then number two, you're not absolutely sure it's closed well after you're done. So I repackage. I use mason jars. I found these cute little jars at the Dollar Tree that we have repackaged and made our own glitter mixes. They look like that. Yeah. And you get 2 of them for what the time I bought it was $1.25. Okay, so this I just realized it might be a little difficult to use because when you use the glue, you have to cut it off. You have to. It doesn't work otherwise. This is a very fine mold. And I'm guessing I'll do the wings in the gold. That's a little deeper than the rest of the mold. See how thick that is? Glute factor. Ugh. Oh, I think my execution is not going to be so good on this. I wasn't thinking, or more like, what was I thinking? Yeah, that's not working out the way I wanted it to. Definitely didn't want black wings. No, I did not. Okay, line, skip a line, line, coming up on the side. Yeah. Coming up on the side. Now, since I have those lines filled up, and I want my wings yellow or gold, yellow gold. Okay, we're gonna cross our fingers that works that way. That's what I wanted. The line, the line, the line, the line, the line. Okay, so I'm gonna do the rest of those bees off camera, but you kind of saw what I wanted to do there. Okay, and then for our sunflowers, we're gonna go right in the center where your seeds would be and fill that up, and then move on to the next one. Okay, so there's that. And then we take our gold, and what I'm hoping will happen is that they won't mix together because I don't want mud. I want golden petals and black in the center. But I can already see that didn't work. So what I'm actually going to do is let this sit for a bit while I fill up the rest of my bees and then go in and fill my petals with my gold so they don't run over. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill up the rest of those and then I will be back. Okay, so I did my bees. I don't know how they're going to come out. There's definitely going to be a lot of cleanup on that one. I finished the sunflowers and now I'm just pouring the rest of my gold into my honeycombs. These are, I don't even know how to say it. It's kind of poofy. The mold is poofy because when you demold it, it's going to be, you'll see all that pattern. So the best way to, you need to kind of work that resin into those spaces. And the best way that I found is to kind of give it a stretch and pull. But remember, this is a keychain on the top. So you definitely want to make sure that your resin gets up into that space. And I'll just use that micro brush to kind of coax it into there. I'm telling you, the mess, I haven't made this kind of mess in a long time, but hey, it happens. If I cover that pinhole, it's fine. The mark will be there and it'll be easy to drill it out or just pick it off depending on how thick the covering is of it. So yeah. All right, so I need to find something to do with my little bit of black and I have quite a bit of gold. I think I will start a unicorn. Weird, right? Unicorn is not necessarily what you would think when you're thinking black and gold, but I have him in all other colors, so why not? We're going to try and get the gold down into his horn if I can. So the unicorn, as with most of your animal friends, will have trick spots that are going to leave you with bubbles. And so the best thing that I can tell you to do is spray your mold, give them squeezes and taps, So I have my gold down there. You can see his horn. I'm gonna kind of squeeze it and hope that any bubble that might be trapped in that horn will come out. The other place you're gonna find a lot of bubbles, ears, chins. Chins are notorious for bubbles. So yeah, you're gonna wanna take care of that. Like I said, give him the squeeze, give him the tap. This is going to be an interesting looking unicorn, I think. And if not, he'll just go in our collection. We have a huge collection of, well, we tried. Well, we tried. If it didn't work, oh well. I have intentions of getting nice thick molds that I'm going to need to fill up with resin. As we all know, resin is not inexpensive. It is not a cheap hobby. So I will reuse any oopsies. I have a bucket of oopsies on the floor over here next to me. I have a box of, well, we tried. It's not exactly what I wanted, but we tried. I'm not going to throw it away. I could use it for something else. Okay, so as I was saying, for your bubble trouble spots, ears, chins, for this unicorn, the main, a little, more the chin. And then when I fill it up, definitely the tail. So what I'm going to have to do is make up a little bit more resin to fill up those spots. And I will do that off camera. And then we will come back on demold and hope that our bees came out the way I wanted them to. All right, see you then. Bye. And we're back, and I think these are all cured up. These seem pretty solid. They've been on the heat mat for a while. Okay, so I don't know, kid. And the kid's here. Hi, kid.
Hello.
Let's demold the extra first. I did a unicorn.
Yippee.
Trying to see if I got both. Oh, look. See that? Look at that. Little resin pieces go in the little resin cup, and then we can use them later to fill things up. Oh, remember when I was telling you that you get bubbles in the tail? There's my bubble in the tail. I tried. I did try. Oh, wow. There's a lot of yuckies on the mold. Not yuckies, extra resin pieces. And I should have taken them off before I loosened it. Because once you lose your solid footing, it's not as easy to take it off. Take the overages off. Okay. All right. Oh boy. This is my least favorite part. Okay. I'm going to pull the mane. I'm going to try to get it over his chin. Yay. Okay. Whoop. Flip it inside, right side out before it messes up. Okay. All right. So that's Miss Unicorn. See, good.
Yep, that is in fact a unicorn.
That is in fact a unicorn, yes. And I put the gold in the horn. So now I don't have to paint the horn. Usually I paint the horn with the curl markers. I don't have to do that this time. Although, interesting. Did you see that? How the ears are?
Yeah.
Very interesting. Anyway, I like it. He needs to be trimmed up on the bottom. And we'll probably end up using her to make a phone stand. Okay, so that's that. Let's see. What's next, kid? What do you think?
I don't know.
How about the flowers?
Okay.
We'll do the flowers. Oh, well, let's try this. I think everything's dry, so I don't really think I need my gloves. I did that because in case I didn't want to touch any wet resin. Because, did you hear that? Pepsi, the mascot dog, is out there hitting his treat button. He has buttons. One says treat, one says pettings, and one says walkies. Believe it or not, that dog knows which button he's hitting, and he knows which one's going to get him the proper response. Okay. All right. And then when he doesn't get a response, he throws his buttons on the floor because he has his buttons on the couch. All right, so here's number one. That's not too bad. It did kind of push my black out into the petals there, if you can see that. So that's number one. And this is a matte mold. So if you want to shine that up, you could do UV resin. Or you could just put a clear varnish on it. There's number two. Do you see that, kid? it still kind of pushed it out a little bit. I could have let it sit a little longer, I think, maybe.
But you're impatient.
Of course I'm impatient. Number 3. And there's number 4. And the kid is going to take the pup walkie-talkies, even though he hit the treat button. All right. My editor has just informed me that I am filming you upside down. Mom, please keep that one in when you do the editing, by the way. All right. These bigger pieces, that's what goes in my little cup here. Put these little extra tidbits when I'm filling big things. All right. I know this bee is going to be, I think he's all black. So let's pop him out. Yep, all black. Which, actually, well, all black with gold glitter. Actually, he's not that bad. Let's see if any of these worked. And there we go. That is ready to use for the next time. So yay. So I did get the black and yellow like I wanted on a couple of them. That one needs to be trimmed up on the bottom. And I would shine these bees up because the item that I'm putting them on is shiny. So for them to be matte, that wouldn't make sense. I take my little nippers and get the little overage off. Although there is quite a bit of overage on this one. No. When the kid comes back, I'll have to ask opinion. Since I can't hear you, I'll ask the kid their opinion on whether I should use the all black bee or one of these black and yellow bees. And it's going to sit. Here's our honey pot. There's our honey pot. The bee would sit right in the center like that. Or, I don't know, maybe no, I think the center would be good. So it'd probably be either that, that one or that one. I really don't know. I'll have to ask. No, maybe I'll do both. Although that might be a little overkill. But whichever one I'll use, I will probably give it a spray of gloss varnish before I put it down. And I'll just use E6000 because I think that just sticks better. I could use hot glue gun, but I think the E6000 would be better. One of those. Anyway. All right, let's see. Our little keychain / purse pull. Personally, I think it's a little too big for earrings or a pendant. Although, hey, to each their own. I would, because it has the little toggle for a pin, whether it be key or jewelry or whatever, I'll put a jump ring in it. And then it's up to the person utilizing it, how they want to use it. Oh, now that's cute. I really do think that's cute. I'm still a little bendy, and it will be for several days. But you see that? All I have to do is open up that hole with my little hand drill. And if I really didn't want it, I could just nip it right off. Cut it right off the end. But look at that. How cute is that? I think that's adorable. You put a little bee on the honeycomb. I think that's cute. I do. You know what I did notice? I didn't really get any bubbles. All of that, I mean, you'd think I would have gotten bubbles, especially in the tips of my flowers, but I did not. This one has some overage. And again, right there's the hole. I just gotta re-drill it. It doesn't take much at all. Although I recently moved all of my drill things out to the garage because you don't really want to be breathing in resin dust. It's really not good for your health. So if you're going to be drilling, sanding, whatever, you really should be doing it in an open area, lots of ventilation. Use your PPE. I have a ventilator mask that I use when I'm doing it. So I wasn't thinking. I even took my little hand jewelry drill that would just go right through here and not really leave much dust behind out to the garage with my Dremel. But it won't take much at all to get that fixed up. In fact, hang on a second. Okay, there's the hole. Done. Ready to go. And then, since we're talking bees and everything's gold, let's try gold. Yep. We'll do it as a keychain. And we slide this right in. Oops. If it's, yep, going to cooperate. Well, of course, when you want to do it on camera, it doesn't want to cooperate with you.
There we go.
And so, yeah. Okay. So, there we have it. And if I had a little bee charm, which I do not currently have a bee charm, I would hang it from this hook up here. Maybe one of these loops up here. Or a tassel. I have tassels. Okay, so this set right here, I will link in the description below. It's available at Amazon, and it was under $10. I know that. I want to say it was like $9, but I could be wrong. But I know it was under $10. So I mean, you know, I will get use out of it for many things because these flowers I have been known to add to the tops of my mix and mold jars, making them look all pretty. And see, when they're soft enough, when they first come out, you could absolutely mold it to where it would sit. You could glue it to the side of a jar and it would stay because it's still soft and moldable, pliable enough. All right, so I think that's good. I will get you some final pictures once we decide which bee we're going to add to the top of the jar. I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards the all black one. However, the black and gold, I mean, there are choices. There are choices. But I will definitely get you some final pictures, and we will see you next time. I'm not sure what we're going to be doing, but whatever it is, it'll be fun. Thanks for joining us, Game Room Crafts. Bye.